Hey guys, Double O Southpaw here. I know it's been a while. A lot of things have changed. I've moved. We're in a new location, but we're back at it. My apologies on taking so long on getting a new video. I know part two of the 03A3 build is what I had promised you after my last video. You're still going to get one. We're just starting a new project now. This is a new project gun. It is a Stevens Little Scout 14.5. In 22 long rifle. It is part of the family of 22s that Stephen came out with in the early 1900s. I believe they started manufacturing these in 1903 all the way up to 1946. As you can see here, it is a rolling block. Um, Picked this thing up for dirt cheap, and the extent of what you're seeing here is what we know. I don't know whether the extractor works. Don't know whether the firing pin works. We do know, as you can see, it is empty. We do know the hammer works. It's a little spongy, so we'll probably have to clean that up. But the plan is to do a full overhaul just because. Like I said, picked it up for cheap, so might as well. We're going to sand and refinish the stock and forend in a deep, dark walnut color. I don't know if you can see, but the case, it was at one point in time color case hardened. We're going to see if we can't refinish that and replicate it using some uh, Birchwood Casey Super Blue and just do some overall maintenance on it. Make sure it works, make sure it's functioning. We've got some stripped screws in the back here, as well as, I don't know if y'all can see that, but someone took a screw and just kind of nipped it off there at the top to make it fit. But we're going to have to replace that. But other than that, the first thing we're going to have to do is tear it apart. So let's get at it. All right, so the Stevens Little Scout is a takedown. So we're going to begin with that. Pulling this screw out here. I believe once I get it out a little bit, it should just come right apart there. So we've got an extractor here, which we're not sure whether that works yet or not. We'll have to find out. And our barrel, which I have looked down, the rifling appears to be in decent condition. So we may be in luck for a little shooter here, guys. We're going to put the barrel aside for now and begin work on the receiver. We're going to pull our screw all the way out for the takedown. There we go. And start working on these side screws here. Maybe just loosen them up to start off with before we take them all the way out and pull out the firing mechanism. There we go. Now I am going to pull this screw out of here. I believe that just kind of goes like that. Now unscrew this, and that's going to take our trigger guard off. Look at that. That frees up this screw. There to come off. And then let's take off the buttstock screws back here for the butt plate. So this one right here stripped out some on the bottom. So I'm going to pull this top one off. Pull that off. this one just kind of comes right off. All right, next we have a split screw in the buttstock here. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. Issue being, I don't have a split screw screwdriver, so we're gonna attempt to get this out. Wonder if I can just use a normal screw. Aha, there we go. Just use a normal screwdriver. Twist it very carefully off this rod. Maybe the rod comes with. I don't know. We're going to find out. I've removed the buttstock. I've got my split nut here, as you can see. I don't know if you can see that or not. And now I can remove this rod from the back side of the receiver. Just like this. All right, so next we're going to disassemble this receiver over here. I'm going to zoom you guys in a little bit here. And I have gone ahead and soaked this screw right here with some Ballistol in hopes to loosen it up a little bit. But we're going to start with these screws right here. After we loosened them, should be nice and easy to take out. All right, so it appears the screw is under some tension. Yep. Got some tension on that screw. Want to come out. Maybe if I back that off some. Nope. Slide it up. There we go. Right, and that appears to be stuck. So I'm wondering, I gotta take the trigger out first. Should have started here, I guess. Also, guys, if you're working on some older guns like this, it's important to use a real thin screwdriver, a screwdriver with a real thin portfolio like that. Um, okay, there's a spring on the back of here. Then still can't seem to get that out. I wonder if that means I have to get this screw out first to get this piece. I've got a pair of vice grips here. I've worked this out. There we go. Took a little convincing, but we did get it out. And so I can go ahead and pull this piece out. Ah, so this pin right here had the spring attached to here. This spring right here on this end of that rod into this rod. So that's how you're getting your tension there. Okay. Very nice. Next, we're going to come back to our barrel and try and take this off fore end here. Perfect size. So if you're not careful, like I was saying, and using thin profiled screwdrivers on these older firearms that have, well, some really thin screw tops It's how you get this going on where you've got damage to the screw heads. But that came off nice and easy. Fore end appears to be in good condition, no cracks, no nothing. So I think we're good there. Next, what we're going to do is take a rag to all this and clean it off real good. All right, guys. Well, I've got everything pretty well polished and cleaned up. Trusty Ballistol always comes in handy. Wipe it down. I did take some steel wool to the receiver and the butt plate here just to kind of see what it would do. I do feel like it turned out pretty good. Let's see if I can't get this up in here. So not bad. Not bad, but I think we are still going to redo the case color hardening on these anyways with a little bit of super blue magic just to really make it pop. Other than that, this is where I'm going to leave you guys for now. On the next video, we'll be going over the color case hardening of both the butt pad and the receiver, as well as I think I'm going to take these screws down to bare metal and get those nice and bright blue on them, give it a nice contrast. And then after that, we'll be working on the wood. So stay tuned.